Hi, Teresa here from TechMag Social, and I have a question for you. Do you have a small business? Do you run a household? Are you overwhelmed with your paperwork from your business? You probably have receipts all over the place, on your counter, in file folders, on a desk, even in a shoebox. And you're thinking, wouldn't it be great if I knew someone that could come in and organize myself to get my business in order? So, well, luckily today, I'd like to introduce you to someone, Angèle Lafond from Shoebox Inc. And Angèle's going to tell us that there is hope, and she's here to help us out. So, Angèle, can you tell us a little bit about Shoebox Inc.?
Well, Shoebox-Be-Gone is a bookkeeping firm here in Ottawa, and we do everything. We will do setups, right? So you need a system that works for you with your workflow process and how you work best.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you don't care how many forks you've got in that drawer, you're not going to count them.
Exactly.
So we really come down and figure out with you what works best for you, what you need to track to be comfortable at the end of the day with your own bookkeeping, and at the same time meet your reporting requirements for your taxes and for your
Which is very important.
It's very important.
CRA,
exactly.
that stuff. Yes.
Another thing we'll do is we'll come in, oh my gosh, Angèle, I have not done my taxes in 2 years, my bookkeeping's a mess.
Well, that's what, yes, exactly. Like people haven't filed for quite a while, and now they're scared to because they don't know how to get organized,
and they don't know how many taxes they owe. It's overwhelming. So we come in, we clean you up, and it's really easy. It's 1 hour per month, really, is what it's going to cost.
Is that all?
That's it. An hour a month that you're behind. So if you're 12 months behind, it's 12 hours. If you're 24 months behind, it's 24 hours. And we have ways to help you save money on those hours as well.
Exactly.
Right? There's different price points. So we come in, we clean you up. Right?
Wow.
Bring you up to date, file your taxes for you, file your remittances for you. Then we set you up on the system, and the kicker is we give you step-by-step instructions so you can go forward and do it yourself in an hour or less per month.
So you teach your client how to do it themselves?
Absolutely. And whether you're doing it yourself, you're hiring your neighbor's kids to do it yourself, or you're hiring Shoebox-Be-Gone to come in and do it for you, it's only going to take an hour a month.
Okay, so now, in order for someone to contact you to get them organized, they don't have to be 2 years behind. Like you could just, somebody's probably already caught up, but you could organize them a little bit better.
Ideally, you're starting a business, you come see me.
Oh,
right?
Too easy.
But if you're already behind, it's not a problem.
Okay.
We'll fix it up.
Okay.
And you know, we've worked with customers who were, several years behind, and it took us 2 weeks.
Wow.
And in 2 weeks, their taxes were filed, everything was sent off to the corporate accountants, we were going forward for the new year, and they were so relieved.
Did you hear that? 2 weeks. Can you imagine the release of stress you would get after having that all done? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, after you do organize them and they're all set up, you would come in, or they could do it themselves. It should only take an hour a month, you're saying?
It should only take an hour a month.
Okay.
Now, if you're using a spreadsheet-based system, if you've got more information that fits on that one screen, either your spreadsheet's not set up properly, or it's time to move on to a bigger system, like QuickBooks.
Oh, yes, yes.
I say QuickBooks instead of Simply Accounting. Simply Accounting was designed for accountants. QuickBooks was designed for entrepreneurs.
Yes, I'm familiar with Simply Accounting. It can be a little challenging.
Okay, so I do say QuickBooks because they're more intuitive for the small business owners. You still need to have it set up though in a way that works for you.
Yes, okay. So you would organize it to their way of working.
Yeah, I have a client who her money that she's collected from customers but has not been put in the bank yet, she calls money in my hands.
Okay.
And the money that's in her bank, she calls it money in the bank. QuickBooks calls it undeposited funds and bank account. And she gets lost with that. So we named it Money in My Hands and Money in the Bank.
Oh, how great is that?
And in her
own words.
In her own words. And in her instructions, it's Money in the Bank.
Yes.
So you're going to transfer money from money in your hands to money in the bank.
Oh,
it's easy for her. So now she can do it.
So can you tell me why you started Shoebox-Be-Gone?
I started the business originally 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I was a single mom, and I didn't want to be thrown into the system, right? So I started my business. But I was living in a rural area. Most people were saying, you know what, Angèle, I can't afford your services. It's a small business. We're in a recession. The economy's down. I can't afford your services, but I don't know how to do it. So I started doing, the shoebox parties, right? It's like a Tupperware party for your taxes. I'm teaching you how to do it, right? Because you need to learn, you need to know what to track.
Right.
I don't care if you bring everything to the accountant at the end of the
I
year.
know.
The accountant can only do so much with the information you bring them.
Exactly.
So if you didn't track bank fees, they're not going to claim bank fees for you, right? They take what you bring them and they run with it. And that's not bad. They all function like that.
Exactly.
So you need to know what to track to bring to the accountant or to bring to your brother-in-law who does taxes or whoever is doing your taxes, right? So we teach people what you need to track in order to maximize and protect your tax credits, right? We teach you how to use the system you currently have to most benefit you. We teach you how to streamline your process so that it only takes you 1 hour. I mean, what's 12 hours of your time worth? Is it worth at least $1,000?
Exactly.
Because I say $1,000 because most people, once they start tracking everything they can track, can find at least $5,000 in tax credits.
Wow.
$5,000 in tax credits means $1,000 off your taxes, 20% of the base.
Wow.
22%.
Right.
Let's, if we're going by round numbers, $1,000 back in your pockets in income taxes that either you didn't have to pay or that you're going to get back because you've overpaid.
Yes.
So if 12 hours of your time is worth at least $1,000 in your pockets, then you should be getting a proper setup for your business.
So they can't not afford to have somebody come in and organize them.
No, and whether it's, I'm giving you a system that you can run off and use on your own, or I'm giving, and whether it's a spreadsheet-based system, a QuickBook-based system, and it's all based on what your business is. If you're in the direct sales industry, you've got low overhead, you don't need QuickBooks, right?
Exactly.
You can use a spreadsheet-based system, but we need to streamline that process for you.
So explain to me what happens when you do go into a client and they have all receipts all over the place, like in file folders on the desk, on the counters, whatever. So what do you do? What can a client expect when you come in? What do you do?
The first thing is we sit down and examine what is the workflow process of your business.
Okay.
Right? How does your business happen? What do you need to track?
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
So this is, this happens, these are your expenses, this is how the money comes in, this is a process, when do you get paid, this and that.
Okay.
So that's what we look at. Then we decide, well, what do you need to know? Do you have any job costing, project costing? Do you have employees? Do you have a lot of inventory control? That right away, the spreadsheet-based system is not for you.
No.
Then we're looking at something bigger.
Exactly.
If you don't have all of that, then we look at how we can streamline your spreadsheets.
Okay.
If you need more than that, then we look at what it is that you need to track. Again, going back to the forks. If you don't care how many forks you've got in your drawer, why count them?
Exactly.
Right? CRA doesn't care how many forks you've got. They only care how much money you spent on them.
Exactly.
Right? But if you care how many forks you've got, because fork A is going to customer A, and fork B is going to customer B, and fork C is going to customer C, and you need to know exactly where those forks are, then you need to track them.
And they need this information in order to make decisions in their business.
Exactly.
You need to know where you're at.
That doesn't change anything on your taxes.
That's right.
But for budgeting for your business, you really need to know where your stuff is. If you're in the business of allocating materials to projects.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of the construction industry, the home designers, the stagers, the real estate agents might have, several projects going on with different people. It's important to know where your stuff is.
And people with home businesses, we have lots of people out there with home businesses. This would be great because they're on the road all the time with their gas receipts and all that to put everything together.
Oh my gosh, we've got a solution for that.
Exactly.
We tell people you don't need to keep that piece of paper in your car. You write the start mileage, end mileage.
Exactly.
It might be accurate the first week of the year.
Yes.
Trust me not. By the end of the year, there's no way that sheet is accurate.
Exactly.
Everybody has calendars. Whether it's a date book, a calendar on your phone, on your computer.
Yes, that's right.
Right, you write down where you need to be.
Yes.
Right? So if I'm going to see Holly at 1 p.m., then I'm going to see Holly at 1 p.m. At 2000 Bank Street. Right? So once a month, once a quarter, once a year, you go through your calendar and you say, I went to Holly's at 2000 Bank Street. How far away is Holly's from my home, from my office, which is my home? She's 10 kilometers, you Google map it once.
That's right, yes.
She's 10 kilometers away, so you double that at 20.
Exactly.
Right? That's your return trip. Now, if you go see Holly once a week, do you need to Google map it every time?
Well, no.
No, exactly.
You're already set up. Yes, that's right.
So you'll come to know that Holly's is at 10 kilometers away from your house, therefore you claim 20.
Exactly.
So by the end of the year, I did my gas log for all of last year, and I'm on the road a lot. It took me an hour.
Exactly.
For the year,
That's
for the gas log.
Yes.
So now you know how many kilometers you've driven for the year. If you track your odometer readings first and last of the year, then you know how many kilometers you drove total.
Exactly.
2 pieces of information that CRA wants to know at the end of the year.
Exactly.
Right? So then if you have all of your gas receipts, but I pay debit, I don't keep my receipts. Great! Go through your bank receipts.
That's right.
$20 Esso, $20 Ultramar, $20, $20, $50, $50. Highlight all the gas receipts, add them all up for each month. You've got 12 numbers to add up. Add them all up, then you have the total amount of gas you spent. And then you have your percentage because you know how many kilometers you drove for business and you know how many kilometers you've driven total.
Exactly. And you can set that up for people.
Absolutely. We set it all up.
Easy.
I mean, if you feel confident in your Excel skills, by all means, go ahead and create this yourself.
Yes.
Right? Because it's all about what works for you and what works for your budget.
Exactly.
But if you don't have the time, or you don't want to spend the time on it, or you don't know your way around Excel,
exactly.
Sure, we've got one. It's ready made. We'll give it to you.
Yes, because people are so busy running their business, they haven't got time to do the bookkeeping also.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, do you have any success stories? Have you gone in and just blew somebody out of the water? Like
we had a client last year
money.
In the direct sales industry. She was also working full time. She was 3 years behind on her taxes.
Oh dear.
And we actually got her $5,000 back.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And she thought, and she was making a lot of money with her direct sales. You know, she had a big downline, a big team. She actually thought she was going to end up having to pay a lot of money.
Oh my goodness.
So she took her husband on a trip to Hawaii, which was their dream trip. And that's
oh
what she did.
my goodness. See how important it is to get your papers in order?
Yeah.
Get a system in place. So now if somebody wants to reach you, they can go to
Shoebox-Be-Gone.com.
That's right. Or you can watch this video at techmagsocial.com.
Yes.
So give Angèle a call. You won't be sorry. She'll get you an order and you'll be on your way. She'll take a lot of stress out of your life. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Thank you.